Welcome, guys. This is Big Mike and Little Ant. We are back for another episode. We're looking to give you guys entertaining topics as you follow us and how we give our opinions and feedback on these topics. So, Big Mike, what do you got to say?
Hey, I'm Big Mike, man. Hey, we missed you guys. We're happy to be back with another show. We'll definitely give you, a plethora of different type of topics for you to listen to get through this quarantine. And, we're excited to keep this going. We're on episode, what are we on, 6 now, I think? 5, 6?
Yeah, I believe 6.
Episode 6 of Big Mike and Little Ant. So we are getting there.
Yes,
So
we are.
keep it moving.
And we reviewed 2 movies.
Extraction.
Yeah. Invisible Man.
Yeah. And we're also going to review Spencer Confidential, for those of you who've seen it on Netflix, coming soon. And we're going to review a show which was out last year, which is popular, called The Boys. And we're going to talk about that. That came in another topic of ours. So you'll see a lot coming soon. I can't wait for that, actually. So that should be good. And I'm happy because I haven't actually talked to Anthony about that show at all. So I'll be getting his take fresh on the review, which is great.
That's cool, yeah, because it's something that interests us, but we didn't really speak on it. So it's going to be cool because we're going to be able to talk about the show and the characters, and, it's going to be really good.
I know, it's kind of amazing how all this time we never, talk about that show. We both watched
it. And we both agree that we liked it a lot.
I know. And we've worked together, we've been together, we never talked about this show.
Yeah.
So it's interesting. But diving right in, what's our first topic for today?
All right, so first topic today, there is a gentleman who works in Belmar, New Jersey. So he's the manager, he's a co-manager. 2 guys own a gym in Belmar, New Jersey, and he put out a statement to the government, and he made a video, 8-minute video, and he said, reasons why he will be reopening this Monday, regardless if the government gives him permission. And it was really thorough. He had a papers, and he read several papers and explaining. He's fully prepared. He's gonna open the gyms because he's losing so much money. He can't help it. So he said, regardless, I'm opening the gyms with or without the government permission on this Monday.
Yeah, I actually didn't see the video for that. That's interesting. I don't know why.
Okay.
I don't know who said that in the chat, but I didn't see the video for some reason. But
yeah, in the chat, if you read the article, a couple paragraphs down is his video.
What did he give me some more details? What did he say exactly?
Yeah. So he said that they're losing too much money, and it was really good. His big gripe was that Walmart, liquor stores, and big chains are able to be open, and he said he feel like there's so many businesses that could do exactly what Walmart and them is doing. He said, for instance, he moved his machines around in the gym, so it's not as close as it was. He said he's not allowing as many people to come in. He's going to allow, I think, 50 people in the beginning. Only 50 people, first come, first serve, and only membership people. It won't be just free regular walk-ins. Can't be anybody that want to come and just pay for the day. And you have to sanitize everything. He's already got everything wiped down beforehand. People have to, he gave specifics. You're gonna have to bring your own punching bags, the speed bags. You're gonna have to bring a lot of your own equipment, where sometimes they would let you just use equipment that's in the gym. So he laid it out very thorough on what he believed what it should be acceptable. And honestly, when he laid out, you walk into Walmart, how they have people spaced out, he was like, and really the government still allowed the liquor store to be open. He was like, if stuff like that could run, I don't understand how a gym can't be run if you did the proper organization, or you properly organized your things inside the gym, the equipment and everything, and wearing your mask and everything. He said the only time you have to take your mask off is if you're actually doing a certain workout, but anybody who's spotting you have to keep mask on. He had it laid out to where he felt like it'll literally be similar to what's going on when you go to the store, when you go to Walmart.
I think the plan is good. That
right.
should be the plan for moving forward. However long, it sounds good, especially if he has enough people, staff, to watch and make sure everybody's, abiding by the, adhere to the rules. He has enough staff to, follow that. However, I personally wouldn't do it only because the fines are enormous if you open without their permission. But here's my thing with him. My only question with him is this: because he has members and memberships like any other gym, right? And he needs that income. If he opens back up, even though they won't allow him, will he start just charging his members the membership fees? Because if I decide I don't want to go right now because it's not legal or safe, then I shouldn't be charged, I feel like. So I don't know how you know what I mean? Is he gonna say, I'm opening up so all my members are not gonna start getting charged again on Monday? I don't think that's fair to the members.
Yeah, I don't think, I would like to think so. He didn't say that in his thing, but what I'm thinking is, so I haven't been charged for I got a membership to Planet Fitness, right? And I don't go, but I still pay every month, but they haven't been charged me at all.
Me either, same thing. But
Right.
they're not open either though. So I think
Right, they're also not open. So I guess if they decided to open but wasn't allowed to open, I don't think they could be able to charge me. I think what I'm assuming is, because he said first come first serve, I'm assuming when you get there, you're going to have to again tell him you're a member, because he's not allowing anyone to get in who's not a member. So what I like to assume is you'll get there, say I am a member, and first come first serve, because eventually once you get to 50 people, then that's it. So I'm assuming once you get there, you're like, okay, cool, we're going to be able to charge you. But then again, should he charge you? Because what if the government cracked down 2 days later, then you charge me and now I can't go back to the gym?
Yeah, that's the tough thing about the membership. He almost has to like wipe memberships and kind of charge, I think, for first come, first serve. But because the membership thing is hard, because if, again, I don't feel safe and it's not even legal for you to open, you shouldn't be charging them a membership fees right now.
But I feel like if you're going to go to the gym, you know, if you're showing up saying, dude, I'm trying to come back to work out.
Yeah, that's cool. Yeah, so it's that's the only thing about him. Besides that, I get all his reasonings. Like, let's be clear, I don't have a problem with the opening up of different things, because at the end of the day, what I realize is that two things. Number one, probably going to be a lot of our new normal for at least a couple years, maybe. Right. And number two,
whoa. I don't know about years, maybe like 6 months, but.
Okay, we'll get to that. We'll get back to that. All right, save for that. All right. And number two, we all are adults, you know, not all of us, but I'm saying the people who, like, you can make your own decisions, right? So just because the movie theater by my house is open, don't mean I gotta go. So the opening doesn't mean anything. It's really more about your own choices at that particular time. Because even if you go, you can't spread it to me if I'm not around you. So again, it goes back to the choices that people make. So the opening really I feel for people who, you know, if they do contact it because they went to somewhere that was open. But again, we all make our own choices. So
I think Sandy wanted to say something. What you want to say?
I said, so he's only letting 50 people in the beginning, right?
Right.
So say 100 people show up with a membership. How do you choose which 50 get in?
He said first come, first serve.
All right. So say those first come, first serve people get there, and they're the ones that get there at the same time every day, and the other 50 people still don't get a chance to get in, and they all still get charged?
It's first come, first serve.
Yeah, but are they going to get charged? And they still didn't get to get in, even though they were there.
I mean, that's just a membership. I mean, it is. If I got a membership, it's like us in Great Adventures. So when Great Adventures start back up, they said they're going to do, they're going to have a certain amount of people that could be in. So we're paying for a membership. If we get there and they already filled the capacity, we're not going to be like, dude, I'm not paying. This is the way of the world. You know, I think that's fair business. First come, first serve. But and it's only for people who have a membership. So you're already privileged over people who don't have a membership. Right. I mean, it just makes sense. Yeah. What do you agree? What do you think, Mike?
I'm trying to figure out, like, on a day, is it like the 50 at capacity, and then he can let, you know, after they leave, can like more people come in, or is he saying like?
I think he said he's only going to let a certain amount of. Once he get to 50, then that's it.
For the whole day.
Yeah, because no, not for the whole day, but for at a time. So like at one time, like Walmart, when you go to Walmart, they got the people out there counting. So once they get to a certain capacity, you can't go in until other people come out.
Okay.
Yeah.
Gotcha. So he might say, you know, I got 50 people in here. You if you want to wait, you can, but you know, you might want.
Yeah. I mean, they're literally doing that at Walmart.
Yeah.
Okay. I haven't been to Walmart in 3 months, so I wouldn't know. But
oh yeah. When you go to Walmart, there's a guy. There's a person for people going in and a person on the side for people coming out. And they actually got like a little checklist. And they have a counter. Yeah, they have a counter. Sorry. Yeah. So as you're walking in, you're being counted, and people going out, you're being counted.
Yeah, I think what he said makes sense. I just think that I wouldn't take the chance for me because of the fines are so expensive. If I was him. And
Right.
number
If you was
two,
the business owner yourself. Yeah.
yeah, if I were him, I'm saying.
Right. So let's talk about a business that did get approved to be open. So my favorite drive-in, and again, we go, me as a family, as my family, we actually go there on a
The
regular.
only drive-in I found out was in. I
Yes,
know that was the only one. In New Jersey.
it's the only drive-in in New Jersey. There is
Right.
no other drive-in in New Jersey, and it's in
Right.
Valley, New Jersey. We've been going there for years, right? They are opening this Friday, and
Right.
I'll tell you what they're gonna have. Sandy just pulled it up, which was cool. It's like they're gonna play Sonic on one screen. On the next screen, they're gonna play Jumanji, the new one.
No, they're on the same screen. Remember, you get
No, sorry. They're gonna play. On one screen they're playing Sonic, and after Sonic goes off, then Jumanji. So if people are not familiar with the drive-in, you always get more than one movie. You always get two, and sometimes they do three, and it's still for the price of admission. So Sonic is gonna play first, and then when Sonic ends, after that Jumanji goes on, and then on the other screen. So you have to decide when you first get there which screen you're gonna watch. Like, are you gonna watch Sonic and Jumanji, or are you gonna watch? They have I Still Believe. It looked like a love story. I'm not familiar with this. And Midway, the war movie.
Yeah.
So that's what they're gonna have, and they're opening this Friday. So look at that. So, we already seen Sonic, but it was good enough to see again because the kids didn't see it. And we never did see Jumanji. I'm not interested in the other two. Here's your phone. I'm not interested in the other two, but we might just go. We might go.
You should go because Jumanji was good. I liked it a lot.
Was it?
So yeah, it was definitely good. Yeah, you should go. Definitely, I would do that for that. I mean, I wouldn't go because I've seen both already, and that's my whole thing with the drive-throughs now. I mean, I'm happy it gives people opportunities, especially people with families.
Right.
But I wouldn't go to see an old movie. You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah, it makes sense. Yeah. Now, the cool thing with drive-ins is when they're normal, they do play movies that's in the movie. So a lot of people think the drive-ins only play old movies. They actually play movies that come out. So just so if people, some people listening are like, but they only play old movies. No, they play current movies. So that's cool.
No, I know, but we don't know when they're gonna start being able to do that.
I agree because what's even coming out. I'm just saying,
We can get tickets right now.
Oh wow, she said we could get tickets right now. So but they're also doing normally on screen one, it could hold 300 cars and they're only doing 200. And on screen two, it could hold 200 cars and they're only doing 100 cars. So that's what they're doing. And also, you have to order ahead of time. So, because it's going to sell out. And then number two, they're allowing you to order your food by calling, and then they'll let you know when to walk up and get your food. So
yeah, see, I would do it, but I would have to bring my own food. I don't want to do it all.
But they don't allow you to bring your own food. When you pull up, they actually look in your car, they look in your trunk and everything. I don't know if they're going to excuse it. Probably not, because they make so much money on the concession, so they would be losing money, but they don't. I remember I had a bag of sunflower seeds, and the dude was like, you could pour some out in that cup you have, but the rest you can't take in. Like, they're strict.
I don't know, because of the social distancing, will they try to be looking that thoroughly? And,
right. Yeah, I mean, listen, it's a loophole, but I wouldn't be willing to take food with me and then they make me throw it away.
I mean, your car got a lot of pockets. You should be able to sneak something in there.
Put it underneath the seat, something. Now, you wanted to talk about a barbershop. Let
me finish with the movie part, because you're big on movies, stuff like that. Unless you want to rush.
No, go ahead. Yeah. I didn't know if you had more you want to say, but
no. So with the drive, so I see they're opening up throughout the whole country, actually.
Okay.
And some farmers I've seen are turning their farms into drive-through, movie theaters.
Right.
If they have a big enough billboard space or whatever, they just made that to make some money. But I think that's very good, especially if they show a certain, movie. I wish more would open up throughout New Jersey, though, because if one was local.
Here's what's hard with New Jersey. Where we have areas that have a lot of farmland. But with the drive-ins, they need to be remote areas, so when you're driving by, you can't see it. So that's the whole thing. Like when we were talking about, what if they turn movie, Josh was saying, what if we turn movie theaters into AMC showed the movie? Like, that's not going to work, because the way the building is designed, it's not designed to have something broadcast on the building. It got a logo and it's just not enough space. And then if you put it on one side, Then you got the highway right there. It's going to be distracting people. So that's why drive-ins, you can't see a screen from driving. If you see it, you go to drive-in. Like, you nowhere you can see that screen. You have to drive for a while to be able to, see where they have the screen,
Okay, that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, so hopefully, I mean, ultimately we want the real movies to come back. And since we're on movies, why don't we get to a topic which we were talking about on a previous show about the movies and stuff like that. And one of our other shows we were doing, someone in there was talking about how, when the movie theaters do come back, possibly the blockbusters will be able to sustain, but the movies who are like, I guess, middle tier, that people might want to stay home and watch those when they come out on demand rather than go to the movies, because why take an extra chance for only I guess a middle tier movie? What do you think about that? Because you didn't get a chance to comment on that.
Yeah, that's going to be tough. So I like going to the movies and seeing a lot of movies, period. But I do understand if you have that fear of going out. But I also feel like the double standard is, so you will risk it for Endgame, but you wouldn't risk it for Jumanji,
Man.
right?
Jumanji,
Yeah.
Right.
So I mean, again, like you said earlier, that's on you if you want to go or not. What I think the problem is, usually when things are set in place, we just have to deal with it, right? So if the government say movies could open back up, the movie company is going to have to decide, not the movie theater, but the movie company, are we even going to put our movies in the theater? Because if it's a middle movie, how many people are even going to go anyway? Because you got to figure they don't make as much money as a super budget movie. And then at the same time, they could potentially, lose money. So now, if again, what happened with Trolls coming out and did well, if you don't look at how much it lost from advertising,
marketing,
right?
Right.
So that, I mean, I don't know. What is your question? Like, just what's my thoughts, or would I still go?
Well, what's your thoughts? I guess I mean, I know you would go to see anything, so I'm not worried about. I mean, that's
Okay,
already
cool,
answered
cool.
the question.
You know me.
It just was really what's your thoughts about it, that's all.
Yeah. The thing is, I'm different than a lot of people. A lot of people are consumers by heart. I'm into business first, right? Because I feel like businesses have to succeed in order to make consumers purchase something and spend money. So I wish it was a world where the movie company could say, you know what, we're going to put this middle movie on demand, right? And we could watch it, and the movie theater could still sustain losing the business from not having those middle movies. But unfortunately, I don't think that's the case. These movie theaters need everything.
Yeah, we got into that too. But while we're at it, I was talking about it, how like if you're the manager or one of the because they normally have more than one because it's different shifts or whatever, they're making salaries, like decent salaries, not like the kids who serve the
drinks, and popcorn, right?
Stuff like that. But those salaries are substantial a lot of times. But if you're a theater, right, and you're going to come back, but to lower capacity of seating, which means you're making less money, how do you continue to pay those salaries? You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Or even pay what you pay everybody in the first place. So that's another thing that people are not really thinking about when it comes to some of these things.
I think what people aren't thinking is two things. One, the fear. So a lot of people, like you said, aren't going. And two, the limitations, like the guy who's doing the gym. He's limitations. Like, I used to sell kettle corn, kind of story, but that's how I wear this hat. So I was talking to a buddy of mine. He was on the Sandy and Anthony show. You guys will see because it's out now. And if you didn't see it live on Facebook, but he sold shirts like for the military and stuff. So we would sell kettle corn. He sold shirts. He said here, and this is what didn't get me, is that for those companies who make money off of big events and fairs, right? You would think like, oh, you should be happy if they limit them. Like, no, we literally didn't do certain kettle corn events because they told us, we asked them, what's the size of crowd, right? And we want like 25,000. We want a huge crowd. So if they're limiting the crowd, then it's not even worth us to go because we can't make enough money to make it worth it.
Right.
But with the movie theaters, like, dude, if you're limiting it anyway, and you're not going to have, you taking away the middle type movies. Like, how often do $1 billion movie come in a year? You know what I'm saying? Like we said, probably 2 last year, right?
Yeah,
what we talked about.
Well, he was off. It was like 6 or 7, but still 6 or 7 out of 500 movies that came out last year.
Yeah. So Yeah, that's rough, man. And I don't know who's going to be the ones to make these decisions, but it has to be rough because, like you said, it's going to take a while for people to want to go back. And it's also going to take a while for full capacity. So we got two things, the fear and full capacity. So there's a lot of money to be
Yeah.
lost. So,
Yeah, that's the thing. There's so many things operating at the same time. That's why I tell people reopening is one thing, but
yes,
then it's the virus and the fear that's the other thing.
right.
So just because the government says we can, like I know somebody right now in Indiana. Indiana's pretty much almost open, right? Friend of mine. But she like, I'm not leaving my house. They can open all they want to. You know what I mean? I'm still not going nowhere and stuff like that. So it really depends on the individual, you know.
Yeah,
So even though the business can celebrate, yes, we can reopen. They got to realize there's still fear factors in place too at the same time. So
yeah,
it's still gonna be tough for them, you know.
yeah. I'm really, really, really have my focus on the movies there because you and I we're a fan of this
Oh
stuff.
my
So
God, it's killing
I
me.
mean,
Yeah.
this could change the way movies are go forever. Like for instance, we were on our mental theater podcast earlier. What we were saying was in the future, what the guy Jay was saying was the movies is one of the most outdated things, right? So like, but I feel like well, movies is movies, but he's like, listen, we just start every theater just got good seats finally. And to be honest, let's throw Netflix in there. Streaming stuff, right? Before you was watching shows on TV for the most part and getting movies as a DVD. Now you just stream it. Music, same thing. People just stream music. So movies is the one thing where people still rush out to go see a movie first, and you can't see this movie unless you pirate it, and then you have to wait. But what if we
Like
get
I told him though, same thing. Like I could probably find, I could have probably found Endgame on my Fire Stick, you
oh
know, and
yeah,
watched it the same day or whatever,
yeah,
whatever movie you want to say. But it's about the outing for me. It's
right,
about going and enjoying that movie. Same thing for you, probably. It's
right.
about going, enjoying that movie on that particular screen. And like I
Oh
also
yeah.
said,
Some movies I'm like, I have to see this in IMAX or
right,
Dolby Digital. Like you just
right,
like you have to,
you
you know?
have to. And what I also said was, some of these films are shot to be seen on the screen. You know what
Right.
I'm saying? Like I'm sure right now James Cameron is not shooting Avatar, the new Avatar movies for the home streaming. His
Right.
thought process is going to be just like the first Avatar.
Right.
You know, it's going to be seen on the big screen. So it could ultimately change the way films are even shot if
Right.
we can't go to the movies and stuff like
Yeah,
that. You
because
know?
you see the difference on quality of cameras, right? That they're
Right.
used. So you could see like, whoa, look how good that looked versus some stuff that just it looks decent, but it's not like the movie there. You don't compare it to the movies. So it's like, what's the point of you using that camera? Because you're probably not going to make as much money. That's one. And then
Right.
so why should your budget, you spend as much to produce a movie?
Right,
Period.
because you can't make it back. So this literally could change everything when it comes to movies, which we're sticking to right now. Because so Jay said he thinks they might put plastic barriers between each seat. I think they'll just say, you know, they'll have certain seats selected, which you can pick or not,
I agree.
more so than that.
Yeah,
I don't
I
think it'll be
agree. I think certain seats may be blocked off. Like they may have something in it. Like they may say like again when you walk up to get your ticket now, it shows you what seats can be bought. But I think
right,
what they're probably going to do is block off the seats that can't, so you can't just sit down and try to get that seat. So you're going to look and be like for instance, a row will have A through E, right? Just for
right,
instance. B and C might be blocked off, and this might be blocked off. And when you look, like, okay, so we're gonna pick these seats, and those seats are gonna be blanked out. And then when you get in the theater, it's gonna be something covering those seats, a rope or something.
yeah, I agree. That's what I
Yeah,
think it will be, not like plastic between each seats because you know that's a little different for me. I
you
don't feel
know,
like that.
yeah, yeah, that doesn't make any sense. Now here's the question: you go to the movies by yourself,
All
right?
the time.
You go
Yeah,
to no, I'm saying if you go by yourself, you go to buy a ticket, and the seat that's available is only one seat left, but it's sitting next to somebody.
I don't think they'll have it that way though.
No, but here's the thing. You think about it. Who's to say a family of five, a family of two, you know what I'm
No.
saying? Think about it. So,
Yeah.
so you know what I'm saying? So I was thinking like maybe it'd be a couple seats, then if maybe they might have sections where it's like these are individual sections. So they got this seat blocked off, this seat not, this seat blocked off. So individual people could sit right there. I mean, it's a couple things they could do and we just have to deal with it. You might come to
I
the
think it
theater.
might be how you buy them too. Like let's say like you and Sandy buy tickets,
Right.
but if you purchase them at the same time from
Right.
the same card, you can buy them together. But if it was two different cards, you might have to, you know what I mean, it might block off automatically. You see what I'm saying? Because people still go on dates. I don't think they'll say your date got to sit 3 seats from you. That doesn't make any sense.
Here's what they could do. You go to buy your tickets, right? And if you punch in 5 tickets, then all the seats will show available. And when you pick them, it'll have to make you get the group in, right?
Right. That's what I think.
And
Yeah.
then if you go with a single person, it'll literally show you seats that's not near somebody.
Right. That's what I
Now,
think. Yeah.
what technology they will have to have is so physically, we could see it electronically, this would be perfect. But physically, somehow they would have to block off certain seats. So after I was a single person and I picked this seat, so now somebody have to block off the seat next to me.
Yeah.
So that's
It'll be a lot of work.
That's people that got to hire the manpower,
I don't think they're gonna do that. I think they're gonna block it off electronically and hope
Right.
you don't sit there. Honestly,
I don't know, man. I've seen people walk in and just sit down, and people walking like, "Bro, you're in my seat." People are hard-headed. There's people that's gonna buy a ticket that got a bad seat up closer. They're gonna walk in there and be like, "What? It's a free seat right there," and just sit down.
And then somebody who's gonna sit next to somebody who's, has fear of getting the virus, they're gonna snap, and that's gonna be a problem. You're right.
Yeah. And they're either gonna have to tell, or some people not gonna say nothing, be afraid. You get this big dude walking there, and the one guy don't say nothing. I mean, it's intimidation.
I know. Yeah, that's true.
It can get crazy. What's cool is a topic on the Sandy Anthony show was actually to kind of go out there and say what do you think the life would be like if the quarantine doesn't lift in like a while? So like people getting married via satellite, your family in the audience. But this is kind of what we're talking about. We're like literally creating a scenario that we don't know could happen.
Yeah, the kind of like I guess new norm rather than post quarantine, like new norm of it all.
Right.
I was talking, and you know how we do. We go off topic and stuff like that. So I'm just gonna talk or whatever. But I was talking to someone about like how if you're, let's say me, for example, who's a single person who lives alone, right?
Mm-hmm.
How if you're me, how do I meet a new person like I've never met, like I normally would, but not like somebody who I've already been talking to or dating, but like I never met, right? And date them. Are we dating now with masks, to get to know each other, right? You know what I'm saying? Like, how can I trust that what they're doing on a regular life when I don't even know them, right?
So listen,
go ahead.
That's been done before 1,000,000 times. You know how? How many times did you meet the girl, you barely know her, and don't use a condom? That's been done. It's the same thing.
No. I'm saying, yeah.
It's
First
the
of all,
same thing. It's the same
for the sake of this chat, I'm gonna say none. However,
gotcha. But I'm not saying you, but I'm saying that's been done. That's just a thing that's been happening since.
Right. But I mean, for people who there are also people who really are conscious about using condoms, right?
Yes.
So for those people, how do you meet a girl or a guy, whatever it is, and go meet them even at the park or whatever it is for a date? But now you're not now, instead of worrying about like STDs like you used to, now you're worried, well, what are they doing in normal life? Can I even be around them? Right. So that's like an even scarier thing, I think. Like, can you pick them up, put them in your car? That's not 6 feet. You know what I'm saying? Like, you don't know. Like, and it's hard. How you say, well, are you around your family a lot? Do you go?
Listen, this is so real life. My nephew Lance is 16. He'll be 17 next month. He called me yesterday. He's like, yo, Uncle Tony, I'm coming over. And dude, you're not coming to my house. He's like a knucklehead. So he's out. I'm like, dude, you don't even quarantine yourself. You be out in the streets hanging out. He's like, yeah, but I'm good. No, you're not coming to my house. Like, if you come, I want somebody that's consciously trying to like
you would let me in your house, basically.
Yeah, exactly. Like, look, my boy Mike, he don't play around. He wears mask. He don't see a lot of people. But somebody that's just like, whatever. Like, even me, I'm not that afraid for myself, but I'm afraid for other people. So I'm not out there, So, so I get what you're saying. Like, the new questions is different now. Like, hey, so what's your favorite book? Hey, do you hang around a lot of people? Are you following the quarantine? Like, that's...
Yeah. Are you working from home? Are you essential? Are you around, people every day? Like, it's so different now because how do you meet someone and, developing that rapport with a girl or a guy, it would be...
We both go get tested.
Sandy said I have to do the same thing you do for STDs. We both get tested.
Except for with these, you got to have symptoms to get a test. So it's not like I can walk up and say, "Hey, give me a test now."
Oh, you're right. You're right. And if you're asymptomatic,
Right. So that's even different. It's not like, I get that point. That's a good call if they ever allow just, somebody to say, I want to get a test today, like
right,
STDs. But with this, they be like, well, y'all ain't even got a fever, so why
right.
y'all here and stuff like that. So, that's an issue, I think, moving forward, that people are not thinking about. Because I think everybody's thinking about the main line you hear from everybody is 4 words: when this is over. But to
Right.
you and Sandy's point, what if it's not over anytime soon?
Right.
Then what's the next step in that situation?
Right.
So
Yeah.
it's
And I mean, I feel like the human species is very resilient, so we will move
yes.
forward. This was crazy. We went to the store yesterday, and I was just looking around and said, man, this reminded me of when we went to Mexico for our honeymoon. And it said, when you got off the plane, it said, whatever you do, you cannot drink the water. You better
Right.
buy a water bottle. You can't drink water in Mexico. I don't care from the water fountain. You can't from your hotel room. You can't drink the water. So I was like, this remind me of like, when they say in Japan, like the fog is real dense, so they wear masks and stuff. I was like, yo, watching everybody walk around with masks in the store. I said, this feel like we're in some third world country where like, it's, you got to always make sure you protect yourself. Like, it's just like, whoa.
Right. And that's crazy because it's like, even with the mask, right? A lot of people I talk to have trouble breathing in the mask, where they can't
Right.
wear it for long periods of time and stuff like that. But if it becomes so norm that you got to go work an 8-10 hour day with the mask on,
Right.
our friend Jasmine, right? From the job,
Mm-hmm.
she's got a deviated septum, so she
Right.
can't barely breathe as it is. So she said, if I had to go back to work and wear this 8 hours, there's no way possible.
Right.
Like I've been
And
passed out.
even the girl on the New You Radio on your show the other day, what's her name? Ebony?
Ebony, yeah.
She was like, yeah, because you guys were like, well, what if you had to do it 8 hours a day? She's like, I mean, you'll have to do what you have to do, but I might take a break just to take my mask off.
Yeah.
Like, not a smoke break, but a mask break.
A mask break. Like, girl, I'll be back in 10 minutes, finish your hair, but I need to go get some air.
Yeah. Like, wow.
Like that's super. Hairdo is becoming 2 hours instead of 1 hour because you got to get hair.
Right.
Stuff like that. And that's tough. But it's and speaking of hot, I was thinking about the mask is harder to breathe the warmer it is. Like anything
Right.
else, the humidity makes it harder to breathe.
Right.
So if people think about the beaches, right? For a segue, for what we're talking about, the
Right.
beaches for like the summertime, like if you got to be on the beach or on the boardwalk or whatever, like that's tough if you're already sweating because it's 90 degrees outside trying to breathe in that mask. I was thinking,
Right.
you know what I'm saying? So, but you said somebody went to the beach last week, right? Or this week or something?
Yeah. My wife's friend, she went to the beach on Saturday.
Yeah. I had a friend go too. They went to Seaside, and what they told me was that the rides and the games are all closed, but
Right.
some of the food places are open.
Right.
So it really depends on what type of person that you are. Because my family, we have been going to Seaside for a week for 30 years
Right.
in July every year for like 30 years or more. But we're not beach people. We only do the games and the rides and stuff like that, and the boardwalk and stuff like that. So it might not be advantageous for us to even go because we're not for us to do.
And see, we're beach people. Like the way our vacation package is, we always have is VIP, so we have beach side. So wherever we go, it's walking distance from the beach. But first of all, in New Jersey, I'm not getting in water until like the middle or end of July because the water's cold. So I don't even want to go to the beach because I'm a beach person. We usually just wait till later on. I mean, there might be some occasions where we'll go to walk the boardwalk and Seaside. We'll go for the night just to walk down, to walk back, and then that's it. So but yeah, I did see that New Jersey, the governor put out that no roller coasters or no rides, no arcades, and that type of stuff.
Yeah. None of the games you can win teddy bears on or whatever.
You can't. Oh, Sandy said you can't go in the water.
No, I don't think you can go in the water either. Yeah, you can't go in the water. So it's like, I mean, it's cool, I guess, take a ride, but I don't know what you can really do that's like worth it
Well,
to
she
you.
said sunbathing.
Yeah. Okay. Well, that works for you.
Hey,
but it is what it is at that point. But I mean, they'll be open next week, so I do want to see, because I know people will go down to all these beaches. I would love to see not more of who's going, but how they try to stick to all these rules.
Here's my thing. This is what whenever I hear stuff's open, I get intrigued because for me, I want to see, I'm hoping to hear it do successful. And that's why whenever I hear somebody say like, so for instance, when Georgia opened up stuff they opened up on a Friday, and on Monday, a buddy of mine wrote, oh, look, new cases came up. And I'm like, dude, you couldn't even find out that fast. And so my thing is, I don't like, I'm hoping positively that some of this stuff is working. I'm hoping the social distance, people being smart, wearing a mask. I'm hoping that it's working, but it's a lot of people that want to tear it down and just like, oh no, they got so many cases, they're throwing out a negative. So I'm always looking to see, I wonder if this is working or if it's not working. You know, I'm curious.
You know, I think it'll work, a lot of it, if people just still follow the rules while they're opening. The social distancing, the mask, the sanitizing, you know, stuff you should be doing anyway with the sanitizing or whatever. But and think that if someone sneezes or coughs, walk away, you know, things of that nature to keep the cases down. So
you know what I think the issue is? I had a long conversation with my son yesterday, right? We're going back and forth. And it's people with his mindset. He was like, if you don't have the right mask, these makeshift masks don't work. I was like, don't say that. He's like, it's proven that they don't. I said, well, first of all, the mask is to protect you from getting infecting someone else. The mask doesn't protect you from someone else, right? So his point was like, yeah, but you could, you know, those cloth masks, there was people who lit a match and blew and could blow out the fire. I said, listen, at the end of the day, if someone was in front of me 4 feet and I coughed with a mask on and it could hit that person, I get it. But the person who's 10 feet away and my cough stops that person, it's still a preventative measures. Is it saving everybody? No, but I was like, so don't say it's better that you might as well not wear a mask at all. That's not right. You know,
plus, even if you have a cloth mask on, right? Let's just say, sneeze or cough, take it off and then touch it. You're going to feel some damp, which means the mask caught something. The percentage, who knows? But I guarantee you, you're going to feel something on that mask. You know what I mean?
And my point was like, let's say if they show the infrared, right, and you cough and it shows with the mask, some of it goes here and stop, right? So yeah, somebody walked right here and it's, you know, droplets linger in the air, it got on their clothes. But let's say it stopped right here and somebody was right there. Well, you at least stopped it from getting that person. If you didn't have it at all, you would have got that person. So, you know, my thing is this. You're either part of the solution or you're part of the problem. So,
and if you feel that way about it, bro, you can actually buy surgical masks and N95 masks online now. It's not like it was 2 months ago. I buy them every week. I can give you something if you want something. So,
and they're disposable, right? Those are
ones?
Those are ones that are disposable. You can't reuse them, right?
The surgical ones are disposable. N95 you can reuse. Yeah.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, bro, look at this. It's serious. I can show it to you. It's a real breed N95 mask.
Oh yeah, that's like the painter mask.
Yeah, this ain't no BS right here, bro. Gotcha. And that's just one I got. I have several. So if you feel like that's strongly about it, then get a better mask. I'm just you know, I don't know your son like that, but that's what I would say to him, stuff like that. You know what I mean? So but yeah, I got surgical ones. I got cloth, I got it all, bro. You know me. I'm very prepared.
Dude, you were on to this in the beginning.
In the beginning. And I told y'all life would not be the same for a while, and this is coming to fruition as well, or whatever like that. And you know what's crazy? All I did was watch the virus from China, and then the virus come to the United States, and in that time period, there was nothing like done as far as a vaccine or cure. So I'm like, well, how can it not spread without any vaccines or cure? That's the only thing I thought about, and that's why I was on it so much like that. So like, I haven't had to shop because I was on it so much in the beginning, Anthony. I haven't had to shop in months. I got so much water, toilet paper, paper towels, like so much stuff and whatnot. And you know, it wasn't what I thought it would be. Where we'd be locked in our homes for months and months and months. But at the same time, I realized not having to shop is still stopping me from getting any spreads because I'm rarely at a store. I'm on the same tank of gas since March right now. Like I'm rarely. I'm trying to break the record, see how long I can go without putting more gas.
Well, I'm kind of like you. Sandy drives a lot, but I don't drive that much. I don't really have nowhere to go. But yeah. So listen, tell me about the barber shop.
Yeah. So, well, it's funny you mentioned that. So, because John our good friend John from New Year Radio. John's in Georgia right now. John's in Atlanta right
Oh,
now
wow.
as we speak, right? So John got a pedicure. John went to the mall and went shopping, and John got his haircut in Georgia. Because, like you said, Georgia is open, right, with no other restrictions. So he said to me that the line in the mall, there were lines at the stores, and the people were like, some had masks on, some didn't. I'm gonna give you an update on what's going on in Georgia real quick.
Okay.
And he said when he had to go to the nail salon, this is interesting to me too, by the way. He said he had to read a sign before they let him in that said that he has not been in contact with anyone who was tested positive for COVID or have a fever or cough within the last week before they would let him in. Or he had to like read it out loud. But I'm like, you could have just lied. So I don't understand what's that even doing, to be honest with you. Right? So I don't know. I guess making him not liable, I guess. I don't know. But anyway, and then he got his haircut down there. So they're open, so he got his haircut. But in Michigan, which is really, really bad, like I think right behind New Jersey in cases, they're not open. So this guy, and I feel bad because he's been cutting hair for 40 years, 60-something years old, and he couldn't afford it anymore, not to be off work. So he decided to open up. And he got I think he got a couple fines at first, and then he kept opening, he kept cutting. There's like so many pictures of him cutting with a mask on. So he is trying to practice the right thing, but they're not supposed to be open.
Right.
Eventually, they took his license away. And I feel bad because he had his license for over 40 years, bro, cutting hair. And he took the whole license away now and there was a whole thing within the the local court, whether they take his license or not. But because he refused to shut down, they took it away. So I feel horrible about it.
I mean, not for nothing. I've always been like this since a little kid. That's why I always say I'm a straight shooter, man. I feel like you do the crime, you do the time. I get it, but you were warned. That's why there's warning. You did get a warning. You got a couple fines. I feel like, dude, try to just, I mean, maybe you don't want somebody to come in your house, but if you want to cut hair so bad, cut hair in your house. Have people come to your house late at night or something. I don't know. But to publicly have people see you, I know if you need the money that bad, do it in your house, but don't just have it open, get a fine and be like, oh, well. So I feel bad for him though, man. I get it, but.
Yeah, because at this point, you're not only trying to make money, you're trying to make a statement. And that's what I don't like. Right. Because you're not only cutting, but you're allowing news reporters in the shop to take pictures of you cutting with your mask on. So that's more like, it's more about money at that point.
I think that's probably what get the government the most is you're kind of like, if the government say you can't do something and you're defying them in the public eye, then now you're giving other people reasons to want to do the same thing. You know how a bunch of people get behind one thing. Next thing you know, it's like, oh man, like, that's how riots and a lot of stuff start. I mean, now I get his ideal of what he was doing. Don't get me wrong. If I wasn't getting unemployment, I don't know what I'd be doing, right? I'd be in the same field as him. But I do feel that, I'm a rule guy. So if the government say you can't do it, I'm going to do it anyway, then you got to just go with the consequences. And he was a fine is a warning, you know what I'm saying? So
right. Yeah, and that's the part that kind of that's what I'm saying. The guy in New Jersey with the gym, he's funny because he opened it and letting them know, listen, I'm opening it and I'm letting y'all know.
He made a public statement, and as his statement, you got to end up watching the video again.
I will, yeah.
Or watch the video. Yeah, he made a public statement, and he's talking to the governor and to people. He's telling the state of New Jersey. I mean, it was very formal, very formal.
But I feel like he's asking for trouble. Like within 2 weeks, I can see him being charged or fined or forced to shut down.
On Monday morning, he might have cops in front of his door before he think he opened.
Yeah, I know. And honestly, real talk, as a person who works out, I don't want to be there when cops are like trying to, shut you down and stuff like that. I'm trying to get a workout in. I'm not trying to deal with the police saying I got to, you know what I mean? Like, this is not comfortable for me anymore. Like,
if it was me, I'd be like, I'm going to wait and see what happens.
Right.
I don't need to work out that bad because I don't want the drama and I don't want to get, what if I get cited or something? I go there, you're like, come on, you're not pulling me into it.
Yeah, you're not pulling me into it because I came here to work out. Now I'm losing my membership money and I'm getting fined. Like, nah,
yeah.
So, nah, it's good. But Yeah, but the whole thing when I said with John in Atlanta, he said, really, you wouldn't even know there's a pandemic in the world going on right now in Atlanta because
Oh,
it's like
wow.
regular as everyday life.
And the mall was
The
open?
Gucci store had a line outside the store in the mall,
Wow.
he said. And he said, one guy said to him, why do I got to wear a mask on if you got on one? That means I'm good. That's hilarious.
Some people don't know, man. Ignorance is bliss.
Yeah, it's
Leave me on
definitely.
that.
Here's my thing, though, about that. Because as you know, they're starting to do like the contact tracing to try to limit the spread. So basically, if you get tested, they try to contact and see, well, where have you been the last week,
Okay.
so they can contact other people,
Right.
so they can try to get tested too to limit the spread. But with John, he gonna say, well, I was here in Jersey, couple places, I was in Atlanta, a few places. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
it's interesting. That's all I got to say the least.
Yeah,
I mean,
that's rough.
yeah, I mean, he got a cut down there. I don't know nobody else cut my hair, but you know,
Yeah, I wonder was it good? Was it a good cut?
it wasn't. I saw it.
It was good?
It wasn't. It wasn't. It wasn't.
Oh, it wasn't.
It wasn't.
What? That's crazy. Now, do you know if he saved a lot of money on the flight?
No, he did not. He said the prices are almost back to what they used to be. He said, I think because of, here's the thing. People don't realize that. So because of the reopenings that are happening,
Right.
and because they lost all this money over these last couple of months, the prices, they got to recoup in some kind of way. So
Yeah.
the prices are going to go up, actually. So they're
That's
not cheap like they were
what
2
you would
months
think,
ago
right?
anymore. Right. You know what I mean? So, and that's the scary part to go full circle about the theaters, where they now say, okay, we got to increase prices to $2 a ticket because, you
15
know,
bucks.
I know
Yeah.
that's what I'm saying,
Yeah.
because we got to recoup some of this money that we not only that we already lost, but that we're going to lose because, you know, we
Right.
got to limit capacity. So that's the whole thing. But it's funny you mentioned unemployment, because another article I was reading was in Maryland, the restaurant said he can't get employees to come back to work because they're making more unemployment than they did at regular work. So, so they're like, so he opened. They're like, nah, we good. We just want to stay home and chill.
Yeah, not for nothing. That is, somebody asked me, what if your old job, because again, I got let go, so I'm done. Like I don't work there anymore. So they would have to rehire me. But they said, what if they called you back to work? And I'm like, I mean, that's a touchy subject because I am making a good amount of money on unemployment, you know?
Right. So here's the thing, and the funny thing about the guy who run the restaurant, he actually understands it. He
Right.
says, why would they come and do actual work, and risk themselves for
Right.
less money
Right.
when they could stay home safe for more money? That
Right.
doesn't make logical
And I
sense.
feel like the government put themselves in a bind because once
Yes.
they said we're gonna give people more money, then it's kind of like, because think about it, the job I was working at, I was making pretty good money. So if I just say, well, I need a job, chances are, like, I'm gonna have to look for a good job to match what I made, right, or get
Right.
close. So, but if I just want to go grab a job, like, can I get a job that made the same amount of money? You know, unless I hear Amazon right now was giving, they gave an extra $2, now they give an extra another $2, so they're paying $4 on top of what they was paying. So let's say I would have to try to find a job that's gonna beat what I was making, or in order I should just stay home.
Right. Because now they're talking about extending the $600 or the whole thing for another till 2021.
Right.
So again, those people, and let's just take those people for example, right? Those people who worked at the restaurant. So they're making minimum wage. Minimum wage unemployment in Maryland was $450, right?
Mm-hmm.
But they get an extra $600 on top of that. You
Right.
know, however it works out. At
Right.
the end of the day, they're making way more than they would have made actually
Right.
working at the restaurant.
Yeah, that's right, because what their extra that they're getting from the government is more than what their pay was.
Right, exactly. So it doesn't make logical sense. So I think
I
you're gonna
get
find that
that
too
they
a lot
did
of
that
times.
because they said eventually they want, like, so for the economy, there's going to be a lot of people with money in their pocket, right?
Yeah,
And what people do, they spend money.
yeah. People are
But
spending now. Amazon's off the hook. That's why they're paying more money. Amazon is off the hook. People buy. Everybody I talk to say order from Amazon almost every other day. Like it's ridiculous. So
yeah,
it's crazy. I'm about to order the Lawnmower 3.0 because a good friend of mine did a nice review on it. So I'm gonna check that out.
yeah. I mean, like it's man.
Speaking of that. Let's plug that. How much was that 3.0?
It was $69.99.
Okay.
Yeah.
So was it 2.0 cheaper, or they were the same price?
I don't know what the 2.0 is now, but I guarantee it definitely is cheaper. Again, like I said in my review, if you never had either one and you wanted the best, the 3.0 is it. But if you had the 2.0,
No need to go up.
you don't really need the 3.0. But if you was going to get one from the door and you never had one, I will have to recommend the 3.0. The few things that is better is like the cut. So the cut is about the same, but it's more powerful, so it's faster, and it's a light on it. So the light really makes the difference, you know, for me.
You get the whole kit, the whole Manscaped kit, or just the
the box. No, so the box comes with just the thing and the charger and the actual guard.
Okay, gotcha. Because
Yeah.
it's like a whole kit they sell separately, I guess, right? Or
Yeah, they do sell a kit where you don't need all that. The kit would be like a razor,
okay, I got you. All right.
like deodorant, like
Yeah.
you don't need all
Yeah.
that.
No, okay.
You just
Gotcha.
need the device itself.
Right. Okay. Yeah, it's probably like kind of like going from like a phone. Like I don't do phones every year because I feel like the upgrade is not worth it at that point.
Right.
So I wait a couple years most of the time. Like I won't go from like a Samsung 8 to 9. To me, that's ridiculous. Doesn't make any sense.
Again, I used to be the guy that got them every year, the phones, and I got to the point where it's the same thing. So I wait 2 years, you know.
Gotcha. So if I had a 2.0, I'll probably just wait to get a 4.0 if I'm that person. But if I don't have any at all, get 3.0.
Yes. Yes.
Gotcha.
Now, because having it, would I go back to the 2.0? No, you know. But it's like if if I had to buy one, definitely the 3.0, you know. But it's not like the end all be all. But
I'm telling you, man, Amazon is making money hand over. Did you order from Amazon or from the actual site?
No, I got it. So the original I got from the actual site. This one I got from Amazon.
Okay, gotcha.
Yeah.
All right.
I'm an Amazon guy. I know you and Josh always say you got stuff in your cart. Even today, my wife was like, "Yo, you order that stuff for me yet?" I'm like, "Oh yeah, I'll do it after the show." And then I filed to be an Amazon affiliate. So I did it before, and they gave me affiliate for like 2 months, but then they took it from me because I don't have enough subscribers on YouTube. So but they allow you to have it for 2 months to see if you could bring that much business. If you bring that much business, they'll leave you open. So last time when they closed my account, they actually sent me money. I was like, I didn't even realize I was making some money. So what it is any product, I could go online for any product and create my own little link and post it anywhere. And if you click on it, and you don't even have to buy that thing, but if you buy anything on Amazon, but from clicking on my link, I make money.
Oh, yeah. That's how it works. So that's how, because Campia, everything he uses, he posted the Amazon link on his website.
Right.
Like if you want to buy a mic like his, he posts a link to Amazon's website.
He must be getting paid.
Yeah, he gotta be. Yeah.
And I wish I knew that back in the day, because my lawnmower 2.0 video, I'm telling you, if you look in the comments, people like crazy, like, dude, I bought this because of your video. Oh, this is the first video I actually seen somebody using it. I know.
Wow.
Yeah, I missed opportunity. So that's why I made the new one, and I went all out. I spent the money for it. I didn't need it, but I figure I'd buy it. And I'm trying to reduplicate the pop that I had last time, hopefully.
Gotcha. Hey, and how's your daughter doing? I know you said she was like having a tough time, like not being able to get around her friends and stuff like that.
Yeah, so she her birthday, her mom passed away May 1st. April 1st. So April 1st, her mom passed away. Her birthday was May 4th. So before her mom even passed away, I told her in order for her to buy her the AirPods, she have to get an 80 in her math, because her math she was doing really bad in math, and this year I got her doing so good. So her mom passed away, unfortunately, and her grades took a dip. And I told her, listen, even as an adult, they give you like a week for bereavement. You kind of got, it's the way of the world. So I don't want you. And when her mom passed away, that was a week before spring break. So I said, listen, I told your teachers they're excusing you. Your grade's not going to go down, but they're not going to go up. So anyway, fast forward it. She's like, yeah, I've been doing really good. I'm looking at her grades. I'm like, great. So I buy her the AirPods. Her birthday is May 4th. Like a week later, I get the email with her new grades, and the fourth market pair start off is like 0, 0, 52. I'm like, what's going on? So she looked at me like, I don't know. So I said, listen, I'm just going to ask your guidance counselor. I texted her guidance counselor or emailed her. She emailed me back and said, she hasn't did anything since like April. You're looking at, and even on her birthday, I'm like, she's like, oh, thank you so much. Like, because I surprised her and told her
I saw the video. I watched it.
yeah.
Yeah.
You know, so you see the look on her face. You gonna
Yes.
be for me?
I watch
So,
all your videos, bro.
I appreciate it, man. I
Yeah,
appreciate it. So she's and I did start a New You Radio, just to let you know.
Okay.
So she's so when I actually say, yeah, what's up with your grade? She was like, I don't know. Now she always got mouth. She always explained everything, right? As soon as she say, I don't know, so okay, I'm actually guidance counselor. Guidance counselor tell me she haven't did nothing. I go back to her. What's going on? She's like, listen, you act like it's you know, it's not that important that my mom passed away. I said, I'm not saying that. I'm just saying that you can't allow your mom's death or passing to stop you from progressing. I'm more a person where I'm about positivity and moving forward, and I'm not going to allow you to just sit around and mope. I understand it. You're 14 years old. Your mom passed away. Listen, I get it. It's unfortunate, but as a father, I can't just say you're excused. You know, like I even had to contact her teachers after her mom passed away. I waited like 2 weeks, and I contacted her teacher. Listen, you can start sending my daughter to work. Like she is able to work. So, and I also said, listen, it's not like all your grades went down. Your math grade is really high. So if it's, you know, why you not, so she's taking her mom passing, and I get it. I'm not saying she doesn't feel nothing, but she's allowing herself to just get lazy and not do this or do that. So she said, listen, it's not like I could go to school, see my friends. I can't cope with it like I used to. I'm always in the house. So I just kind of didn't do my work and I just let it slip, and I didn't know what to, you know, how to cope with. I knew you were going to be mad at me, and I said, look, so I'm not mad, I'm disappointed. And so, but it's real. She can't interact another way she would, you know, it's.
Yeah, so I brought that up for a reason. It's interesting because
Right.
I remember you said it the other day, and it's interesting about, you know, her with the coping and the friends and stuff like that.
Right.
And my daughter's kind of feeling the same way. Not, she don't have a tragic event, obviously,
Right.
but she is starting to get more down by not being able to go out, go to school, see her friends, interact, and even on the learning level, it is a lot harder for her to not have the actual teacher there to teach her than it
Right.
would be, you know, with the online courses and stuff
Right.
like that. I help her as much as I can, but you, as you know, I actually work, which people forget sometimes. But
Right.
I actually work throughout.
Your
Even you forget
is,
sometimes.
your job is very demanding.
Yes, that was
Yeah.
very demanding. You even call me sometimes and forgot. So I actually work. So when she says I need some help, it's hard for me to say. I can't just say, all right, hold on, you know, do some math with her, stuff like that. So
Right.
it's a little different. So, so I was just saying that I hope that, you know, at least by the fall, these kids can get back for
Right.
those social skills that they're losing by being stuck at home. On top of the fact, I feel like the educational aspect they're losing as well. And there's all types of other stuff, you know. You remember clubs, sports,
Right.
school events. Like you can't replace those by learning online. You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
That's stuff that's you have to interact. You get the kid who's they flourish by being around other people, and you just took that away, you know. Then you got kids worrying about do I still am I still going to get a scholarship because I'm not doing track anymore? You know.
Right, right, all that stuff.
Yeah.
But the flip side, which I didn't even realize, that some of the kids are kind of like some of the adults, and they're extremely fearful. So I was talking to someone I know, her daughter, like she's like terrified they're going to open school
Oh
because of
wow.
the whole virus situation. Yeah, and she's won't leave the house. Period. No matter where they're going, and she's like 12 or 13. You know what I mean? She's not even that old and stuff like that. But she won't leave the house. Period. And like they can't even get a package because she's scared like where it came from, who touched it, like at the
Right.
house, stuff like that. So I'm like, dang, this really does affect all sides, you know,
Yeah.
of all different types of people. So it's just, you know, to me, it's just an interesting dichotomy of how some are like yearning to get that back and some are so fearful.
Right.
Like if they had to go back to school, can they focus inside the school? Because
Right.
they're still scared they might get it from somebody in the school, you know what I'm saying? So
Right.
it's like a lot. I don't, you know, there's no
Right. And
solution.
and I want to add to that is that Sandy and I was talking, and we were saying like, so if a year ago you said, hey Aunt, what if next year you could take off a couple months. You didn't have to go to work. I was like, oh, cool. I go on vacation. Like, no. You can't go on vacation. You just be able to do a stay-at-home vacation. You barely could go anywhere. I'd be like, dude, who don't want to break from work? That's what I would have said. Now I'm like, dude, I want to work again. But you know what's funny? I told myself, dude, you need to relax, because I'm telling you, so many people is going to mentally mess with them when they start working again. Because they're going to be like, man, I was just sitting home relaxing.
I don't want to.
Somebody told me that too. They said, even though I'm actually working,
Right.
but I still don't have to get up and drive to work, clock in, eat
Right.
when I can eat, basically what I want to, things like that. They said still take advantage, because at some point going back to work will feel like, going to work.
Right. And I think it's going to hit people hard mentally. It's going to be hard for them to work every day. They're going to be so used to just kind of relaxing and doing stuff on your own time, and then going to work, being micromanaged. People like, hey, like where you work at,
Yeah.
like you got 10 minutes for that break.
Yeah. If I'm going 12, it's like, where you been, bro, for the last 2 minutes?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So,
Right.
and I could be locked out the door. Can't even, I could, door not working, whatever it is, but it's still like that. So, I think that is a little different and whatnot.
Yeah, that's going to affect some people. Like even Sandy, my wife said, she's like, she doesn't want to go back. She likes working from home, and she's able to do every single thing. So she's like, it's going to be so weird when she got to go back to work, And
I could say, bro, I haven't wore like, jeans or pants with a belt pretty much for the last like 2 months. I wear sweatpants and pajamas every day.
Sweatpants and t-shirts.
Yeah, every day.
I barely have to wash clothes. It takes forever because I got sweatpants and t-shirts I just wear, and socks. Like,
can you imagine if you got to wear a suit jacket again or something like that?
Right,
like,
yeah, I used to always wear my blazer. I was a guy that liked to wear a blazer.
I know. I work with you. I know.
Yeah, like
so,
I feel like it's gonna feel weird to dress up because I dress down so much. Like, it's gonna be weird when it's like putting a blazer on. Like, what? My style might change. I might have a different style.
Yeah, I feel that, man. Because again, I haven't. Because why would I put on a whole new outfit or something like that?
Right.
Like it's a little weird. So I feel like people should, because we always say, man, you may be at work like, I need a vacation, I need a break. Well, take advantage of that break that you got right now.
Yeah.
It's a shame when you don't look forward to going back to the people you work with.
She said when you don't look forward to go to working with the people that you used to work with. So, we're like the chemistry with the people you work with, like you're comfortable working at home, and then you're like, Dad, one day I'm gonna have to be working with them again, and I don't really get vibe with them like that.
Yeah, the one that's gonna get you in trouble, or the other girl's the problem.
I guess that is another thing too,
That's what I don't.
Well, here's the thing I would say, and I've been saying this for a while. It's funny because a lot of places, we talked about this before, I think, like that, used to say they can't let you work from home, but obviously they can if it came down to it. So maybe certain people can maybe work from home sometimes, or get more, if they're sick on a day, be able to work from home, or snow day. Say, listen, I can work for you right here at home. Like, well, I got to come in and stuff like that. So I just feel like
we were saying that. I don't know if you and I talked about this, but I know Sandy and I mentioned too. But maybe in the future there would be like how you get like a couple sick days. You have a certain amount of work from home days. So you call in like, hey, today I want to use my work from home day. I'm still gonna work, but I'm gonna use my work from home day.
Yeah, I think for some people though, right now it feels like that. Let's say you're on a 2-week cruise vacation. It feels like day 12. But all right, I've seen the whole island.
Right.
I'm tired. I'm ready to go back home now, and that's kind of how it feels to them.
On my podcast before this, the Mighty Jade Empire podcast, guys, we were saying the coronavirus funk. Like I was like, lately my funk is I'm lazy. Like I'm one of those people that can run off a very little sleep. But I'll just be laying in the bed for a while. I take a while to get up and even eat. Like I don't want to work out. Like I'm just lazy. Like I'll start to work out and like, all right, I'm done. Like because there's no like I don't have a time frame of when this is gonna end. So nothing has importance to me. There's no urgency for me. I feel like I'm just lazy to play video games sometimes. Like I don't have a urgency. I'm just like it's like the hamster wheel for me. Every day is this similar. For the most part.
I was about to say, my funk is that, and you'll know this movie, Groundhog Day. That's what it feels like.
Right.
It feels like Bill Murray when he's in the movie, that everything's the same at the same time almost.
Right.
And that's where my funk is a little bit.
Right.
Like I want a new something to happen that makes
Right.
it, you know, worth it a little bit. So that's where I felt like I get up at the same time, I work, I take my lunch, I take my walks, all that good stuff, but I have nowhere else to actually go to that's worth
Right.
my while. And so
Right. It's like you're doing the same thing. So it's like, man, like you know.
Yeah, but guess what? When you go back to the real world, you're gonna wish you was at home.
No, that's what I'm saying. When we go back, like you said, when we go back to the real world, we're gonna wish we were still at home.
Honestly, Sandy, I would take the real world back to work versus being at home with nowhere to go. Because I'm at
Yeah,
home.
so that is the interesting thing, is because you're doing nothing though. Yes, you're at home, and it's showing that if, like I always say, like, oh man, if I retire, I'll you know, I'll work at GameStop a couple days a week, and then I'll just sit home and play video games like that. I'll be perfectly fine. Now I can play video games all I want, and I don't even want to.
Right. That's what I'm
Because
saying.
I
So
can do it whenever. It's like I have
it's
no.
good when you ask for it, but eventually it works. Just like a kid, kids hate going to school. How many kids right now are saying I want to go back to school? You know
It's
what I mean?
mind blowing, right?
It's mind blowing. But that same feelings happen if you remember the end of the summer. Every August 15th. I mean, even when I was a kid, man, I can't wait till school start.
Right.
Whatever like that. I can't
Right.
wait. So it happens at some point.
I wish
What
I
you say?
could still work from home, but everything could be open and you could still go out when you want to go out.
I mean,
Yes.
that's the dream job.
That's the dream. Yeah. That's definitely the
Yeah.
dream.
That ain't gonna
But
happen.
Yeah, everybody wants that.
But if the choice was continue this or go back to work, but have to go to work and be normal,
Right.
I'll go back to work.
Right.
So
So I will have to think that because I'm in a special case,
no, I don't.
because I'm making more money sitting home doing nothing.
That's the thing. So, but for
But
me, I will say that I probably will make more or the same or whatever for not working, but I think it does make me at least get up every day, right, at a certain time. So I got to start working at a certain time.
right.
I think having to work helps me mentally because I do have something to do. Certain amount of
Yeah.
calls I got to take. I got to work. I got to be there for this particular meeting sometimes or whatever it is. Like I look forward to still getting off of work rather than look forward to nothing. So I feel like it does help me.
No, yeah. I mean, that's pretty much that's me. I have no motivation because I don't know for what. What do I need to work out for? Where am I going? What do I need to? I don't know. Like
You want another fact of that? So I wake up to go to work in my bed, of course. I could lay in bed and do my job, but I gotta be up by a certain time to answer my phone and do whatever work is there.
Right.
But then I'm laying next to somebody who ain't gotta do nothing.
Well, yeah, that is kind of weird for her. Yeah.
So she be hating, a little jealous.
So yeah, that kind of.
Well, here's the thing though. At least the that does kind of suck, but
at least I got a job.
Well, and I'm gonna say at the end of the day, I'm still paying bills. So I can see if I just got off the hook. If I got off the hook for everything, but hey, them bills still coming, so I still got to use that money to pay bills. You know.
Right, but I can see. I mean, it probably won't affect you guys that much because you're so good together. But I could see a couple where that could become like an issue. Like I gotta work all day, you just chilling, like making them mad or something like that.
Yeah,
like,
no, yeah. I mean, I could understand it. I just feel like I'm a fair person, so that's just the luck of the draw. Like I told my son. So my son's boss told him and some other coworkers that he's gonna try to take care of them if they still work, right? So they was able to get them to consider being essential because he does security, right? But he had the choice. He could have collect unemployment. So now his boss was like, we can't, his boss didn't even come out and say, we can't do nothing for you, extra special. He eventually was like, hey, so whatever happened? He was like, oh yeah, I got denied a couple weeks ago. He was like, you wasn't even going to tell us. And now he found out, or he had found out, that he would have made more money from if he just decided, I'm going to take the unemployment and not work. But his boss made him believe that he would take care of him at some point, and it's going to be hard for you to get unemployment. And he sold the whole work and not work, you know. So my son was like, "Wow, that's kind of dirty." But it's the luck of the draw, man. Just people who are working.
Oh, I'm not hating because I live alone. So if I had like nothing to do every day, and nobody else here and nowhere to go, I would probably feel crazy and whatnot. So yeah, I get to talk to people on Link at work. You know what I'm saying? Still, and and I'm still actually working, so it's a little different. So yeah, I
Right.
mean, my draw, that luck was for me to work. I feel like to be
Yeah,
able to still have something to do.
and that's very fortunate that it worked out in your favor. Sandy and I, our 5th-year anniversary is June 14th, and this year we were actually planning on maybe going to Vegas, Arizona, doing something big, right? Now, well,
Yeah.
we don't know what's going to be open by then.
Well, you go to Atlanta, like John, have a good old time.
I guess you're right, but not with them plane tickets.
Right. That's
If
true.
I was getting a deal, so
True, yeah. Because I'm
yeah.
telling you, I watch, and I was just hate to say it. I watched. He was in the mall on his IG story. I
Oh
don't know if you follow
wow,
him or not, but he was in the
and
Atlanta mall.
and it
Yeah.
really was a lot of people there,
Yes, he was on the escalator. Yeah, with people there, something like that. So,
and they was close to each other, or were they at least?
well, I didn't see that part. I just saw people like throughout in the mall when he was on the escalator. I didn't see the
Okay.
Gucci store he was at. He said that was like crowded though, and they were close to each
I
other.
mean, even
So.
the line, as long as people, because we went to Dollar Store the other day, the line was around the aisles, but everybody was there, had a good enough space. And in Lowe's, we went to Lowe's, and the line was like,
But it went fast.
it did go fast, but people had a space, and I mean, and everybody had
Yeah.
masks on.
It's what the norm going to be. I feel like
Yeah.
the stores, the restaurants are different because you got to still eat though. So I don't know, like that's going to be different. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? And we talked about barbershops because I don't know how they're going. Like I feel like
Yeah.
Murphy don't understand how barbershops work. That's why he don't even talk about barbershops. You notice that? He'll talk about the beaches. He'll talk about the
Right.
drive-in churches like we talked about before.
Right.
He don't mention barbershops at all.
Right.
Like. I do feel like Murphy is one of the people who's on it the most, like as far
Yeah.
as safety. Like he's
Yeah.
really on it, stuff like that. But
Yeah. Let me let you know this. I went to Xfinity or Comcast for my daughter's grandfather. I went to help him get faster speed on his laptop. So I said, dude, when last time you changed your router? He was like, I don't know. I was like, let's go get your new router. When we walked in there, it was a guy standing there with a mask. He said, I'm gonna ask you, could you do some stuff for me, please? We was like, okay. He said, can you take that cord and put it in that bin, a special bin? And he stood back. He said, can you take the modem and turn it a certain way and stick it in so we could just scan it and we don't have to touch it? I was like, okay. And then after we did that, he said, sir, can you stand over here for me? So we had to stand 6 feet to the side. And then he was like, before he let us fully get in the store, and then he had to go tell the lady and then told us to come in. So they got these whole procedures of you walking in, standing to the side, moving to the other side. I was like, wow.
that's
So
organization. Yeah. I
yeah,
mean, like I
man.
said, I think those things are work. I think, like I said, the barbers, and then like I said, like at the end, how do you newly date? I think that's going to be the biggest conquest to a later date, stuff like that. Like
Right.
somebody you don't, because you don't trust them because you don't know them. You just meet
Right.
somebody, so it's like I don't know what your real lifestyle is. So
Right.
that's going to be, I think, some of the toughest
Right.
challenges.
Now, I know we're getting close to the end. We had 2 more things on the list, 3 technically, but 2 more things that we kind of already discussed. So we were going to talk about Wyoming fully reopening, but you already mentioned Atlanta, and I feel like, so I feel like that kind of is discussing something reopening. I would assume,
Yeah.
they're just going to go back to everything, but you got to wear your mask,
Yeah, that's pretty much what they did. Except for what I told you about the John had to read the thing on the thing. That was new,
Right.
but that's
Right.
crazy to me. But yeah. So.
And then we were going to discuss the churches and certain stuff that's allowing you to pull up there, stay in your cars, but still, you can hear a service and stuff like that. So I mean,
I think that's good for people who actually need to be in front of your pastor. I feel like I'll be just more comfortable just watching my same pastor stream
right.
it at my house, honestly.
Right.
If I wanted to hear what he had to say, than sit in my car for 2 hours, to hear him talking at the middle of the parking lot. But
I
if
agree.
you feel like you need to be visually close to him, I feel like that'll help you out. I go to church every week myself. My church is not doing that, but if they were, I
Right.
would just rather watch it streaming if they were doing
Right.
something like that. So,
Yeah.
it's each his own. So.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, it's really nothing too much to touch on. It's kind of a preference thing, but I think it is good if the state is going to allow some of that, because if you're in your car, it's like the movie theater, dude. If you're in your car, you ain't bothering nobody. So if y'all could figure it out, where I'm just going to pull up in a parking lot, listen to a service, watch a movie theater, do whatever, because let's just be honest, people are going to drive-throughs to buy food. That
All the
ain't
time.
Yeah.
I went today. I went to Boston Market. Yeah, all the time. So,
Yeah, there you go. I mean,
and we both had our mask on, and I made my little purchase, and that was it. Or whatever.
now, did they take your card from you, or did they put the thing out the window and make you put your card in yourself?
She took my car from me.
Okay, gotcha.
Gave it back to me, but I have sanitizer with me in the car at all times. So
Yeah.
as soon as I get the car back, I sanitize real quick. Call it a day. So
yeah, because what people think, oh, you touch it, you got it. No, you have to touch it and then end up touching your face.
That's the key, and
right.
And I'm hoping that that's some of the reasons the numbers are dropping, not just because of everything we're doing, but because people are not touching their face as much.
Right.
They actually are washing their hands.
Right.
They actually are sanitizing. That's really the key to me and stuff like that. Like I wasn't a face toucher anyway, so that doesn't really, get to me and stuff like that. But people who are, they got to stop touching their face.
Long story short, that's the thing. Everybody think like, oh, I'm gonna go out and get coronavirus. No, you have to literally get it on you and then touch your face.
Well, just like okay, so let's take it back. Remember Magic Johnson when he first announced he had AIDS, right? In 1991.
Right.
All the players thought, well, if he play, I might get AIDS next to me. It's not how AIDS works, you know what I mean? But it's that being naive in the beginning and not knowing, and that made Magic retire. The players, I'm not playing on the same court as Magic Johnson, which is a shame because again, you can't get AIDS because he fouled you. You know what I'm saying? Right. But I get it because you don't have all the information at first. So that's probably the same thing with coronavirus right now.
Yeah, definitely. And so our last thing, if you want to still touch, I haven't been paying attention to time because this has been really good.
It's about 8:29, but go ahead. You're good. You're good.
We were gonna mention something that we haven't yet. The entertainment world as far as music. Reason being is I checked out a rap about 5 years ago. So I started going to church and I started to get to be like, oh, I didn't want too much cursing and stuff. And so I kind of wasn't as interested, but at the same time, matter of fact, I started going to church in 2012. So longer than 5 years ago. But eventually a couple years later, I was like, for my own reasons, I felt like it was a little raunchy. I didn't, you try not to take that in. But then rap started to go downhill as far as lyrically and performance. And it's just like not good music. So I always felt like, man, rap is like the worst form of music. I feel like rock is still kind of decent. This is still decent. Country sounds exactly the same. But rap, it's a noticeable difference. Like, what are y'all talking about? Or even
Agreed.
Right. So I heard that guy, what's his name? Joyner? What's his
Joyner
name?
Lucas.
So Joyner Lucas, I heard the Will Smith thing. What is it just called? Will?
Well, the tribute, yep, to Will.
It's called Will. And I was like, I don't know who this dude is, but I saw the video and as he's walking and I like stories when you're rapping, when
visual, it was incredible,
Right. That was really good. And then today I end up stumbling on the thing where Will got on his thing. And I thought that was like, wow. And Will sound really good. So I was like, man, that was pretty cool. And then I listened to his other song, The Devil or whatever, where he's saying, instead of God, why did you take Tupac? You could have took Suge Knight. And he's want to trade people who are alive versus who are dead. And I'm like, that was just really well done. So, I thought, let's talk a little bit about the state of, I guess, music.
So Joyner, I heard this a while ago. Joyner's dope. I like Joyner Lucas. He also did the one a few years ago. Probably didn't see it, but what he talked about, like how each race has to respect each other. And he was rapping from a black guy's point of view and a white guy's point of view. Wow. And he had a black guy in the video. And of course, it was a random black guy, but it was Joyner's voice rapping, and the black guy was talking to the white guy at like a little table. Right. And then he had a switch where the white guy was talking to the black guy about like how they feel like they're, sometimes racially profiled too in a certain way. Not like the cop killing, but, call certain names and, things like that, or whatever. So and that was pretty dope, and I'll send that to you too. But he's one of the best. I agree with you. Rap isn't as good as it used to be for many reasons. Let me ask you a question before I get into that. Who was your favorite artist when you were, I guess, growing up as a rap artist?
Right. When I was younger, man, let's go back. So I remember my favorite group was Nice and Smooth. Mm-hmm. So we're going way back, right? So I really, really like Nice and Smooth. Then I end up really liking Das Effect. I
Okay.
really liked Onyx. I liked Nas. I was a big Nas fan. I liked um Jadakiss and them, the Locks. I was a big fan of the
Locks.
Locks. So those were some of my, literally in order, some people that I was really into. And then I got really into Ti. Ti was probably my last favorite rapper
Okay.
before, before I kind of got out of rap.
Okay. Interesting. Um, I don't know if you'll watch it or not. I hope you do though. You should watch Hip Hop Evolution on
Okay.
Netflix actually, and it's cool because and it's not about like today's rappers at all, but it's a tale of how hip hop evolved in each
Okay.
separate part of the country, and they highlight certain artists who made it evolve and how it evolved.
Wow.
So it'll go back to like New York. And the guy, okay, so the guy in the bit and on the host in the show, he'll go to each part of the country and talk to those artists, even going back to like Slick Rick and
Right.
all the way back, all the way up and stuff like that. So like, since you have so much time, please watch Hip Hop Evolution, bro. I love talking
Okay.
to you about that. It's really good, and I'm sure you're like, because it's informational. But they do a highlight on Ti from Atlanta too, and
Wow.
how he was selling mixtapes and stuff like that, and how he how he came up. So it's really good. But that's a good one to talk about hip hop, like I said. So for me, I was a Biggie, Jay-Z, Nas growing up. Of course, I did like Jadakiss and the Locks. Like I was really big into it, but I was a lyrical person. I guess kind of like you.
Right.
Like I like wordplay, how things go
Right.
together, the cadence of the rappers,
Right.
the metaphors and
Right.
similes, double entendres, all
Like
that good stuff.
when a person was able to do a story,
Yeah,
like,
stories.
oh man, that blew me away. When you was able to.
Now they don't have a story when they rap to talk
Right.
about the state of rap. So it's just like I have this, I have that, and that's pretty much what it is. But
Right.
it's interesting. I feel like they don't have a story because they don't have a story. What I mean by that is that some of these rappers now are Jordan Luke is one of them. Were like privileged kids who, like rap or whatever
Right.
like that. Mom and dad bought them a sound machine. They decided to make some songs, and they just
Right.
go independent. So they're not even working to get the contract like they did back in the day. Take
Right.
your tape to all the record stations, all the different labels. It's like I'll just stream it. You know what I'm saying? I
Right.
get popular that way, which is good, for entrepreneurship.
Right.
But at the same time, you're losing that kind of I had to work to get here type of method. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So, and also the other part, the stories aren't like, my mom and dad had money. I went to a good school and I decided to rap. Like the story's not very good story in the first place. So
Right.
it's not something they can talk about. So
And
it's a
then,
little different now.
and I guess if they're just making it up, it's not authentic.
Not authentic. I think what made us love the rappers that we love was because you can they were like telling like what do they say the movie they were telling a movie to life, the movie to the hood
Right.
basically, and stuff like that. So stuff you heard you were living through. Like you remember Ghostface Killer?
Right.
You remember that song All That I Got Is You? And he's talking about being poor with his mom, sleeping in bunk
Right.
beds, two at the head, two at the foot, going to borrow bread from the neighbor. Like I
Oh,
lived that.
man.
You probably lived
As soon as you say that, and I think of stories, Tupac, Brenda Got a Baby, like that just was like, yo. And then the video, you put the video, and you're just watching this, and you thinking as a kid growing up, like, yo, these kids having sex, and then the young kid get pregnant, and she's putting the baby in the trash, and like, yeah.
Brenda was a 15-year-old girl. How many 15-year-old girls in Trent High was pregnant? You know what I'm saying? So
Right.
it was true stories that you can
Right.
relate to, at the time. Where like now they don't tell those, and some of them do have them,
Right.
and so some don't have them, and the ones who do have them, they won't tell them because they don't sell. That's the other part of it and whatnot. That's why the state of rap has went down to me because I would love to hear that, love to get. And what else did I tell you? Right? Let's go back to Josh. They don't like to be transparent anymore like they used to be. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like they don't want to say, I was poor. My mom.
Oh, I got you now. Yeah.
Right.
So that's not, quote unquote, you don't want to yeah, nowadays a lot of people grew up, they want to sound like they're the Kardashians or something. So you're trying to glorify like you always had it, you know, and it's now is looked down upon. Like it's crazy because the rappers back in the day, it was a big deal to say where you came from and where you're at, you know.
Right.
So it's
Right.
like, you know, the struggle was, oh look, I'm making it. I made it out of this.
Right.
You know?
Now they don't want that transparency where it's I was this, I was that, my
Right,
mom was this, my dad was this, or whatever it was. Kind of like,
right,
you know, they're open to be public more so about their current life, but not about their previous life.
right,
You
right.
know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Like even a rapper put a picture up of his prom date. And I remember, or I don't know if he did it or somebody, whoever did it or whatever. But he's like 20, whatever now. But it was his prom, and the girl was kind of chunky. She wasn't that cute, and they went in on him like, "Yo, you had
right.
that ugly girl, bro." It was just, he was 17 at his prom. Like, does it really matter?
Not for nothing. When we were really into rap, uh, social media wasn't what it was, you know?
Right. So
So it's
that's what
like,
I'm saying. So and it's a shame because that makes them want to be less transparent about their
right.
lives or something like
And
that.
that's
I feel like,
probably what damaged the music. You know,
yes,
music is, you know, it's not as vibrant. It's not as you don't get so much out of that artist. You know, you just, you know,
you get what they want to give you for the most part,
right,
and it's not. And like I said, either some don't have the story, or if they have, they don't want to tell it, and that's pretty much what it is.
right.
So for
I,
me, newer artists, I don't really like. Last one I like is like Meek Mill. I like Meek because Meek tells a story. He's from Philly
okay,
or whatever like that.
yeah,
He'll tell a story. Kendrick from Cali, he'll tell a story. Nipsey, got arrested dead, he would tell his story. Like,
right.
you know, depending on that. But most of the new artists, man, I don't be into
Yeah,
that.
because I like creativity, you know. So I don't even listen to rap, but when I stumbled on
Joiner,
this Joyner, I was just like, you know, first to see the video, and then I'm like, oh, everything he's saying is like, first of all, the rhyme is flowing right. So it's not like he just sound like he's reading a paper and talking. He's rhyming and it's going, and what he's saying next has something to do with the story as it's going on. He's talking about this. I'm like, dude, for him to put that together, because what I liked about T.I. when I always felt like he could get away with it, it's just his accent allowed him to say a certain words after another word. Like I always
yeah,
said Eminem, because Eminem accent, the way he kind of phrased things and said something kind of funny, he was able to say like a word that technically wouldn't rhyme, like T.I. could say it because his accent made it rhyme, you know?
Joiner's dope, but guess what? He don't sell, and that's the reason why.
Wow.
Because he's telling an actual good story or
Right.
something that'll make you think. The kids don't want to, not even kids, but yeah, kids or whoever, they
Right.
don't want to hear that. Like we had
Crazy.
like I felt like our generations had like a plethora of different types of music, and it was like pick your poison.
Right.
So you can get like somebody making you dance and get that,
Right.
but still have like somebody telling you some good stories
Right.
or something make you think. But it
Right.
was all still like Nas was on the radio at the same time as Diddy. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? So
Yeah.
you got a little bit of both. But now only person getting on the radio is Diddy's of the world, the ones who making you dance
Right.
or you know whatever stuff like that. So it's a difference to me. And the other part, and which is a little bit more controversial, they glorify drug using now,
Yes.
where in our day they glorify drug dealing.
Selling. Right.
Right. And not to say they both are bad in their own way.
Right.
However, I want to put that out there. However, you would hear like Biggie first line was, "I'm trying to make enough money to feed my daughter."
Right.
Right. And he was selling, "I'm selling these drugs, but I need to be able to feed my kids."
Right. Right. Right.
But you know what I mean? But now they're just glorifying I get high every, you know what I mean, all this other stuff
Right.
or
Right.
whatever like
Yeah.
that is just
Right.
crazy.
Yeah. I mean, remember, don't get high off your own supply. Like you know, remember them saying Biggie saying that. But now, yeah, I hear stuff like I remember I was listening to one song and I stopped it and I was like, yo, in the hook, the dude was like, yeah, dope up the girl or whatever. I was like, what? And I was telling my
Yeah.
daughter, I was like, just listen to that. Like,
Yeah, and they're not even talking about just like smoking weed. They're talking about, you
right,
know, I'm on perks,
right,
I'm on perks and pills daily, and all this
right,
other stuff. It's
right.
like, wait,
In
what?
our day, in the past, if they ever said they was doing something, they was just talking about smoking weed, you know,
Yeah,
and that was
It's-
it, you know.
Yeah, that are popping pills and all types of crazy. So it's just a little
Yeah.
bit different. And it was like our generation was about getting money. Theirs is about getting just, you know what it is? Their motivation is to have a good time rather than to build the legacy and build
Yes.
the empire and stuff like
Yes.
that. You
And
know?
that's a short-term goal versus the long-term goals.
Yeah. And it's crazy because we had to work so much harder as far as the rappers are concerned. Like if you
Right.
go back to even like it's funny because all right, if you go back to watch like remember Yo MTV
Right.
raps and stuff like that.
Right.
Yo, I watched like an interview. You remember Straight Outta Compton? You know
Yeah.
NWA, of course. You know
Right.
all them.
Mhm.
I was watching an actual Ice Cube interview from like 1989, something like that, 90. This was after 2 NWA multi-platinum albums.
Right.
You know where the interview was at? In his regular house, which is still his mama house, in the room that he got in his mom's house because he still couldn't afford to go get nowhere else.
Right.
Even if the multi-platinum albums and stuff like that. I mean, part of it they were getting robbed. What I'm saying is that, you know, they were still living regular, even
Right.
though they were well known. Where now it kind of changed a little bit. So it's very
Right.
interesting to me. So same thing with Wu-Tang. Like their albums on the radio, but still weren't in mansions and stuff like that. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? So I feel like that maybe the working hard to really make it might have kept them grounded longer. I feel like stuff like that.
Right.
Because now
Well,
I'll see an artist, not to cut you off, because I'm passionate about this, right?
yeah, I
So
hear you.
I'll see an artist right now with and they'll post somebody will post something about her. And I'm like, who is this? I ain't never heard of her before, right? I go look at her page. She's got 5-6 million followers, right? And only in a song that's been streaming on like YouTube or whatever, but it's not like radio play or the song. So
Right.
she's making buku money, this girl or guy, whoever it is, from these live shows or local
Right.
shows and the Instagram and the YouTube and the getting those marketing from that. But she's only got one song that never even hit the radio. So that's a
Right.
problem. Like you're making more money for doing less.
Right. Yeah. It's like, wow, you're really not doing anything. Yeah.
Yeah.
Crazy.
You know what I'm saying?
It's like when so I was big into rap back in the day because I actually used to rap myself. And young inspired rappers, a lot of people, grew up where I grew up was. But I always joke and be like, rap is so terrible now. Listen, I might want to try to renew my career because you just listen to people on the radio and people is rapping like first of all, their sound. And I always blame it on Lil Wayne. I feel like Lil Wayne was the first person that was really popular at sounding dumb. Like he was just like, yeah. And then I feel like but it became popular. Like people was like, what do you mean? I'm like, I'm arguing it. They're like, this is the song. I'm like, yo, he sounds like he's what? And I feel like it just literally, it was popular to just sound like, and then mumble rapping started. It's like, I can't even understand what you're saying. How is that popular?
Well, to your point, he also was the first person to really glorify, like, well, he might have been the first, but he definitely glorified, like, he stays high off the scissor every
Well, that's what I'm
day and
saying, a
stuff like that.
popular. Oh, because his
Yeah,
name is so huge.
yeah,
So it's like you take somebody that everybody know that's recognizable, and he do something, and the culture is gonna be like, oh, that's acceptable, that's cool. We want to
right,
do that too.
right, yeah.
It's like you take somebody with a voice, meaning like they're powerful. So like if they say something, it's different than if you and I say something or a different rapper say something. So that's gonna reach so many more people.
Yeah, I feel like that's part of it. And then I also missed where like I felt like it was more camaraderie. Like your group was your group before, and the group was like it was like a main person, and then
Right.
he was trying to put the other people in the group up and stuff
Right.
like that. Where now it's just kind of like more singular and stuff like that. So it's a lot of it, I deal with, and I blame just like a lot of other things. And like we had a conversation about the whole OnlyFans thing before, right?
Mhm.
Social media is a lot of it, bro. Like if you make it so easy for somebody to become a star by doing less, they're going to do it, and that's pretty much it. So
Right.
instead of like I talked about before, right? Take it all the way back. People like walking radio station to radio station, dropping off their tape, saying, "Please play my tape," right? Now they're like, yo, I'm gonna post this little track on my social media
Right.
from the comfort of my home, and that's it.
Right. It's like, so, yeah, I don't want to play my stuff. whatever. I'm gonna have all these people that I wanted to listen to it through the radio listen to it from my page, and then you're gonna
Right.
make money from ads.
Right. That's what I'm saying. So it's such a different, like people were told no before, right? And then said, I'm gonna keep going till I make it.
Right.
And those stories I like, you know what I mean? Those triumphant stories where just like this stuff now, and again, they're not even trying to be great. They're trying to be mediocre. Like, yo,
Right.
I'm making, whatever, $200,000 for the year, right? As a rapper,
Right.
which is great money for me and you.
Right.
But our rappers were making millions. So
Right.
$20,000 a year. Cool. Okay. So you got a couple of jewels and a nice little condo, but it's not really great.
Yeah,
You
because
know what I mean?
I was gonna say about even competition. When it was rappers battling, the rapper would say they're making so much of this, or a rapper's doing this or doing that. Like, and then people were so creative when they went against each other. So you was really like, ooh, I don't know
Yeah.
how the battling is now, but
It's not like that, bro. It's
yeah.
just the battle is now is posting memes or social media pictures of you on there, whatever, and
Right.
people comment on it. Not like listen to the wordplay and hear what the song is and stuff like
Right.
that. It's not the same, bro. So
Wow.
to your point, State of Rap is still down. So that's my take on it, as you can say. So.
Fair enough.
But for another episode of Big Mike and Little Ant, he opened, so I'll close. Thank you guys for for watching. Give us all your thoughts and comments. I'm sure you will have some. Thank you, Sandy, for being our correspondent today and chiming in as well. And we'll come to you soon with some more movie and TV reviews. Anything else, Ant?
All right, guys. Thank you so much for watching. Please share this. Give it to some of your friends and family members. Right now, we're just trying to entertain people because we know the coronavirus has a lot of people just indoors. People are literally looking for stuff to watch, looking for stuff to listen to. So we believe that we are putting on a good show that has a lot of value that you guys will enjoy. So please share it with others.
Thank you.
Take care.